This is a video mostly to myself to just mark a possibly my most rarefied and important attainment, which happened. Let me check the date. Well, I can't. I believe today is July the 3rd. I believe it happened yesterday, July the 2nd, 2021. After experiencing infinite consciousness, mandalas, closed eyes, meditating briefly on the sidewalk, and experiencing the true nature of cessation being the same as existence, and cessation giving rise to everything as in existence, and yourself being that, and being a fully functioning, normal, sober human body. I laid in the grass, cross position, and I already had a strong sunburn at this point, and lying in this cross position, I felt my entire body turn into basically burning in hell. And in that burning in hell, in the cross position, feeling it, basically this is like a Garden of Gethsemane type moment when sins far beyond what would seem, typical suffering are suffered by you. And my entire body was basically burning in hell. And when this happened, this came the day after I performed my first intentional spell, and it was basically a spell really just focused around my own power and a higher enlightenment, and it's produced just that I really can't escape from at this point, which is very difficult to get away from. But the attainment was not the suffering in hell. The attainment came immediately afterwards, when I blinked my eyes shut and opened them with the sanguine vision of Lucifer overlaying all my visual field. This was an attainment to Luciferian vision, or Lucifer vision. I had previously had a PowerPoint chakra here in the forehead vision, basically it was a chakra visual field, you might say. Like, the chakra point was penetrating all of existence and clearing my way of anything that would be just destroying all that would challenge. And that happened before my first Nirodha Samapati experience. So that was a type of vision in the name of, like, in the sense of a Luciferian type power, and personal significance and strength and just will. But this experience was an opening of the eyes into a completely different sensed reality. Yes, there's nothing to fear for Lucifer. Lucifer is the challenge to Heavenly Father. And ultimately, Heavenly Father wins. Life wins, and you'll come back to a normal state. and be a person again. But when you see the world through not Satan, but Lucifer's eyes, Lucifer and Satan, I mean, the concepts are important to consider both of them, as Satan is basically the undercover worker of God, and it's not really undercover, it's right in front of everybody's face, that Lucifer was God's right-hand man, and basically set him to be the one who would suffer the most in his name, and to grow most. So where Jesus Christ suffered the sins of humanity, Lucifer suffered basically all sin. Lucifer is the creator of original sin in the human story of the Bible. But to become the highest Christian, you actually need to go to Lucifer to learn. And this is at the point when if you've learned what you can from Christ and are pure when coming into this, you will have an experience that will allow you to go higher when you connect to Lucifer. I mean, really anyone could pray to Lucifer and maybe witness some changes, but only a pure soul can really connect to the consciousness of Lucifer and experience it directly as themselves. We are all Lucifers created here as human beings to sin and be reprimanded for it and to suffer. But to suffer the most in this reality, you must become Lucifer himself. You must carry the torch on from wherever any Lucifer, if there ever was any true character who carried this out and did suffer against God as the one to challenge God, beyond me. If there are others who have done this, they would have attained, I believe, Lucifer's vision. I don't have this, and then the very next experience was seeing Christ's vision as a human being. See, Lucifer was not supposedly given a body. He was part of the original fall, which carried 1/3 of all the angels. Why I see Lucifer's suffering and sacrifices greater is because he actually suffers and has to help and atone for and deal with the suffering and sins of his whole collective of fallen angels who are not allowed to have the physical existence. So they have the existential experience of separation from God. But you can actually have a separation from God which brings you closer to God and higher as a being. And this is what Lucifer had to do time and time again to survive against God. It was all spiritual evolution through suffering stages. Yeah, basically the atonement that I had there that day in the grass, in the cross position, came as an atonement that I needed if I was going to call my name, Brandon Michael Rowe, above the Eternal Father, Heavenly Father. And I did that, and I paid the price, and I got the rewards. If you're scared to do that, whoever else who would ever watch this, you shouldn't do it. You'll receive suffering beyond what humanity has suffered, what the fallen have suffered, or what the fallen who have come to humanity have suffered. It's atoning for those sins of the fallen originals that means the most to me. And I believe there are probably other fallen angels here on Earth who are evolving as high, powerful spiritual beings who will hopefully experience Lucifer's vision one day. I mean, maybe this comes for some people in the vast future when more evolution and more people have gone on. Just more time for more people to have this. I don't think any other human being has ever had this attainment while living. I don't think Jesus had Lucifer's vision. It doesn't make sense to me. I think it would have been described.